New figures show Australian charities spent a huge $13 million sending more than 60,000 tonnes of unusable donations to landfill just last year.
Now, the figures are from the National Association of Charitable Recycling Organisations, which says that excess donations are leading to a recycling crisis.
Joining us now from Sydney is the association's CEO, Omer Soker. Good morning to you, Omer. These numbers are pretty staggering, but presumably charities have known about the realities of this for quite some time.
Well, they have indeed. And look, thank you very much for having me. But look, $13 million to spend on waste management. What that really means is that's $13 million that charities cannot spend on social welfare programs to help the most disadvantaged people in Australia. It's a lot of money to waste on waste. And ultimately, that 60,000 tonnes of waste sent to landfill is really from those donations that have no value, can't be reused and can't be recycled. So it's a real burden on charities that really stops their good works in Australian society.
I was surprised reading the background to this story that, I mean, there's a lot of the stuff being delivered to charities that we might expect, clothes that are old, probably not in the best sort of condition. But on top of that, things like soiled mattresses, soiled nappies, I mean, the sort of stuff that you would never really consider giving to anyone else.
Yeah, absolutely. But look, I think the overarching message from all charities is thank you, because if it were not for all those donations, they couldn't do this good work. And yes, you know, nobody wants an old mattress, and unfortunately that's just part and parcel of it. It's about really responsible donating. But I think this is the quantum of the problem of charities. I think the key thing is, you know, what are we doing to help solve this crisis into the future? And I think charities are doing a lot of wonderful things. There's 500,000 tonnes of waste that is diverted away from landfill by charities in terms of stuff that's reused in the shops for sale or for donating to the disadvantaged, and from recycling efforts. And actually much of that is actually garments and textiles.
Can you give us, though, a snapshot of the worst sort of things that are being given to charities? I mean, we've all seen it dumped outside of those bins or outside of the local Vinnie's or Salvo's store.
Look, we could look at the negatives. Mattresses is one, but you know, I would much rather focus on.
I know what you want to focus on. I just want to give the audience that's trying to understand the shape of this problem some examples.
All right, mattresses one. Also clothes. If you look at, there's kind of a hierarchy. There's good quality clothes that can be used. Some of them get used as rags. Some of them get used as export. But ultimately, there's a whole bunch there that just cannot be used. So nobody wants a shirt that's been used for 30 years with no buttons, with stains on it, and it's frayed on the edges. So I think the sense of it is, if you're donating to a charity, the thing to think about is, does your donation count or cost? Does it help the charity with its work, or is it costing? Is it part of that $13 million? So think about it as a gift. Would you give a gift to your brother, your sister, your friend? If it is, then it's probably worth donating to charity. If not, maybe have a think about it.
I suppose the challenge with a somewhat nuanced message like the one you're trying to deliver is that you obviously still want people turning up with those second-hand goods. Is there a risk here that people, because the line is not clear about whether something is reusable or not, that people will just say, oh, I'd better not take that to the charity, I'll just take that to the local tip?
Yeah, possibly. I think research also shows that 50% of donors are uninformed about, or don't really know what is and isn't a good donation. So again, in that spirit of thank you, really think of it as a gift. I think that's probably the best way that we can help educate people. Think of it as a gift, because everyone has a sense of dignity. I mean, the very fact that somebody is poor or disadvantaged doesn't mean he loses that opportunity to have a product that is, you know, upholding that dignity. So if it's not worth lending to a friend, if it's not worth giving to a friend, it's not worth giving to charity. But there is a ton of stuff that people have that has value, so I would really encourage them to come in, donate some quality items, and also have a look to see what they may purchase from charities as well.
And presumably you can ring the charity first as well and check.
Absolutely.
I would have thought that would be the sensible approach. Omer Soker, thank you very much for your time this morning.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah.